Hey everybody, welcome back to our Lenten video series. Today is Friday, March 18th, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to reflect actually on today's first reading. I was reading through this today and praying through it, and there's something on my heart that I'd like to share. So today's first reading is about Jacob and his 12 sons, and specifically Joseph. Joseph and Jacob have a very beautiful relationship. They're very close. Jacob has a lot of affection for his son Joseph. And what ends up happening in the story is that Joseph's brothers begin to have envy and jealousy in their hearts. And it actually gets to a point in the story where that envy and that jealousy boils up so much that they actually sell Joseph into slavery. And it's this tragic, tragic part of the story. And as I was thinking through and praying on this story today, two things kind of stuck out to me. First of all, do we struggle with envy and jealousy in our lives? And I think if we're honest with ourselves, the answer is yes. I know for me, in a normal day, so you might pop open social media to start kind of scrolling through, and I naturally kind of compare myself to all the other people's experiences. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this experience this person did, and this person has it all together. And then I look back into my own lived experience, and I feel like, I'm a mess compared to all these other people. And I start to enter into envy and jealousy, and it's not healthy. And friends, we need to get into envy and jealousy and to start to root it out of our life if we're going to live in mission. And the second part that I was reflecting on in this story is that Joseph's brothers are so filled with envy and jealousy that they actually sell him into slavery. And what happens is they treat Joseph as property. They treat Joseph as an object rather than a subject. And oftentimes I think we fall into the same thing in our world today, that in our relationships with one another, it's more transactional rather than incarnational. Now, what do I mean by that? So transactional is when we approach people, it's kind of like, well, what can I get from you? What are you going to give me? What can I get from you? Versus incarnational is in our natural relationships. When we encounter one another, we realize like the other is made in God's image and likeness, and therefore the way I speak about them, the way that I encounter them and interact with them, it's as if I'm interacting with God himself. And it's a completely different way. That do we live our lives in an incarnational way with one another, moving toward mission, or is it transactional where we treat others as objects and as property? And my encouragement for you and for me is to live incarnational lives. As we strive to say, how do we move in mission in our world? When we go out into our daily lives, with our families, into our workplaces, are we living in an incarnational way? That those encounters we have with one another are encounters with God himself. It's a beautiful, beautiful way that we can start to live. So together during this Lent, let's live in mission. Let's live with incarnational love. God bless you and have a good day.